everyone. I bet you're wondering where I've been. Well, I've been sick. I've spent 4 or 5 days. She loves my eyelashes. 4 or 5 days with stomach bug. So I'm just posting a little video here to show you another little creature who's also recuperating in my house. This is who was named Jet. She's a little baby. She's probably about 3 weeks old, something like that. And you can see she has some big scabs on her back and she's missing quite a bit of feathers. Well, the story of Jet is she was born and she was the only egg that hatched, and 2 mothers had claimed the nest. So when she was the only one that hatched, the 2 moms got really jealous about her. And I had to separate them and pick one of them to be her mom. Now, I'm not sure if I picked the bio mom, but I did pick the newer mom thinking she needed a chance. And she was someone who had never had a baby before. Well, she's a terrible mother. She's very spastic. And she was just teaching her baby to be scared all the time. And then I had them separated, but a bigger hen let herself in, and the new mom and the previous mom wanted in. Long story short, everybody was doing great until they weren't. And one of the bigger hens attacked Jet. So I had to pull Jet out of there, and I didn't think she was going to live. Her wounds were horrendous. She is scratching like that because she's healing so well. I didn't know what to do for her, so I brought her in, made sure she had water. She seemed to want to live, and then it's hard to listen to anything I'm saying with that cuteness, isn't it? And then I have some homemade salve that I make for wounds, and I put it on her back, and I put it all over her where she had wounds. And they scabbed up really nice, and her skin grew over. And now she's itchy because she's healing, so she keeps picking all her scabs off on her back. So I don't know if she's gonna get her feathers back on her back where the wound was the worst, but she's definitely enjoying herself. She just really wants those scabs gone. And I'm gonna put some more salve on them to make them softer. But she's the first chick I've ever had that didn't seem like she needed any other chicks. She likes to be alone. She's never in distress. She's very super brave. And so she's going to be my new house chicken. I don't know why she keeps doing that. Oh, because she had to poop. That's why. And now she's going to settle down. Okay. Thanks for pooping on me, baby. So while she's settling down, I do have a little bit of a sadder story. I did lose Lollipop. Lollipop was my house chicken before this, sort of out of necessity because he started fighting with the other roosters. And he was quickly becoming a piece of my heart. And he would run around after me and follow me in the yard. And then at night, I'd bring him into the house. Well, I only let him run around loose outside of a pen when I was home. But I was home with the door closed, and he was having a good time outside like he always does. And I heard the other chickens squawk for a minute, but I had fallen asleep. And on accident. Normally I would have brought him in or put him in a pen if I was going to be asleep, but I fell asleep. And a dog had come into the property and got Lollipop. So the owner of the dog was really, really upset. And but it's not her fault. It's not the dog's fault. This dog happens to be my dog's best friend, and she comes over all the time to play. It was my fault for leaving Lollipop unattended. So I was very, very sad. But I recovered. And then what do you know? This little creature comes along who needs a helping hand. And so in Lollipop's name, I now have Jet, who's inside as a little friend. I'm going back and forth between thinking she's a hen or a rooster. Her feathers kind of make me think she's a hen, but her attitude and personality make me think she's a rooster because she is so confident and so happy and very sociable and independent. Hens are that way as well. Roosters tend to get more affectionate over time, and hens don't. They kind of stay aloof. But so I don't know. I think she has inherited her dad's personality, temperament, who is, her dad is Poppy, and he's my teddy bear, who really, really people-oriented bird. So we'll see as she grows. I don't know if she'll be all black like her mom and dad. She might have something else. They're all mutts, so who knows what comes through. But we'll keep you posted on Little Jet. And she definitely is a fighter. She's a wonderful little bird. So thank you all for sticking by with me. And let's watch some videos. I have got so many lined up for you. So see you soon. Well, hello, you. Welcome to my cabin. Thanks for stopping by tonight. You want to color together with me? Because I'm working on a couple of things tonight. This is Candice with Happy Catastrophe. And if you are unaware, I am in a group that is working on this double-page spread out of Kanoko Ogusa's Symphony of Cute Animals. It's towards the back of the book. It's a Christmas scene. And it's a fantastic, it was not my idea, but there's quite a few of us doing it. And it's a fantastic idea that we take all year to work on this. So basically 12 months. And the only requirement is to do a little bit in it every month. And then you, at the end of the year, have a completed page. So as you see, I'm using my Guangna acrylic markers. And this is the swatch sheet I have that I've made for them. And I really like the acrylics in here. I feel like I really want it to be kind of just blocky, solid color type of look to it. Not much shading, just really kind of Christmas cardy, kind of old school, you know. That's kind of how I was going for it. So I am using acrylic markers. And if I'm going to do any sort of shading, it'll have to be with acrylic markers because I'm not crazy about pencil on top of acrylic. But this is the way I wanted to do this page. Sometimes I just like block coloring like this. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but without much shading, just make it look kind of, I don't know, candy-like, food-like, cartoon-like. Everybody is doing it differently in the group. Some people are really going to town with the shading and the pencils, and some people are doing it in pastels, and others kind of neon-y, and I'm really kind of just going traditional colors, but just to make it kind of fun. So I thought maybe I would put this, speed this up, and maybe talk to you a little bit about this coloring project. All right, 1 second. Let me speed this up. So you might have seen at the beginning, before we started coloring, that I'd been outside with the chickens. And yes, I have lost a chicken and gained a chicken. I guess that's how the universe works. It's chicken math. So I'll be showing more updates about Jet and her growing and fiercely fighting for life. And she's well beyond being in any danger. She's perfectly fine now. She's all healed. She's just scabby and picking them off. And she doesn't seem to have any damage, permanent damage. She walks, eats, poops, talks, does everything. She's going to be my indoor chicken. So I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to make her a little house where she can be safely in when I'm not around. And Jack's going to have to start to get used to her. She's small and chirps really highly and flaps her wings really fast, and that triggers him, and he wants to eat her. He got very used to Lollipop because Lollipop stood up to her. But Lollipop was a full-grown chicken. This little baby is not afraid of Jack and is fearless of pretty much anything. She's a wonderful little bird. But she's got to grow, and I've got to keep getting Jack used to her. Right now, he just gets triggered so fast and wants to just lunge at her and eat her. So eventually he'll see her as part of the family. It's just right now she's food. Chicks are friends, not food, Jack. You might hear him behind me snoring. Lollipop was laid to rest in the park by the lake near me. It's about a mile from here. And I miss him dearly. I do. But, life goes on and it keeps moving on, and we don't have to ever forget. And we get to grieve in our own way. So if you have experienced loss in your life, and I know some of you have because you've reached out to me, just know that you get to grieve any way you want. Me, I like to make milkshakes. You might have briefly just seen there. I made myself a milkshake tonight. Yeah, it was really good. I used some of the last of the frozen strawberries from last year because the farm next door has strawberries now, so I can buy. I do grow strawberries, but mine get eaten up a lot by the birds. So whatever's left, I let my chickens have strawberries. They love them, and I buy them from the organic farm next door. And then I eat my fill of them, and I freeze them, so I have strawberries all year because I love strawberries. But yeah, grief is a very individual thing. It's a process, and it does what it does. And when the only thing that you can do wrong, if there's a wrong way of grieving, is to not allow yourself to grieve at all. Your body will do it anyway. If you haven't read the book, The Body Knows the Score, that's quite a book. And and you can probably find it, it's older, you could find it probably on Thrift Books or eBay or something, really cheap. And it's all about how your body processes emotions, especially your vagus nerve, which runs all the way vertical through your body, that if you mentally and consciously don't process heavy emotions or big emotions, your body will process them because it has to be processed. Your body experiences it. And your brain isn't the only organ in your body that thinks. Your guts think and your heart thinks. And so if you don't consciously process these things, well, your body will for you. And I know firsthand, I spent almost 6 years trying to figure out what was wrong with me in the late 90s and 2000s. More like the 2000s, because I was throwing up just randomly all the time and all this other stuff. And I kept getting told that I was either just sensitive to foods or, mentally ill or something. It wasn't until I went through lots and lots and lots of tests, including nuclear, which is where I eat radioactive scrambled eggs, which was awful. And then I had to keep it down, but I wasn't keeping things down at that time. And they said that if I threw up, I had to throw up in a basket somewhere and bring the basket they didn't want me throwing up because I would throw up radioactive material. I had to be in a special room. They brought it to me wearing special hazmat gear. I don't even think it's called hazmat gear when it's radioactive. They come in wearing what looks like spacesuits with these big gloves, and then you have to eat these eggs and then wait an hour or 2 or 3, and then they did a scan to see how quickly I was digesting and to see if there were blocks and things like that. Yeah, that's how desperate I was to figure out what was going wrong. I ate radioactive material. Well, I am a slow digester. Did find that out. Nothing new. But there was nothing wrong with me. Nothing medically could be found with all of the scans. And the doctor took a chance and said, you're going to hate this, but I think it's anxiety, and I think it's in your head, not meaning it's made up, but your head is, your body's trying to process something. And which was a big thing for a neurologist to say. So that's when I learned. I read the book, I started going to counseling, and yeah, that's what it was. It was some trauma and stress that I was trying to process, but thought I was fine. I'm fine, the world's fine, everything's fine, it's all fine. Don't ask me. And so once I processed stuff and kind of just accepted my anxious brain and then started getting maybe on some medication for that, and that's when I really started meditating as well. I now am a firm believer in meditation and medication. And it all got better. I still, when I slip and, start denying things and not processing things and not allowing myself to feel things, I will almost immediately start getting sick to my stomach again. So it's a very strange phenomenon. So when you grieve, honey, you get to grieve any way you want to grieve. It's your choice, and nobody can tell you what to do or how to do it or how long it's going to last or if it's going to come back or if it's going to end. It's just what your body and your brain needs to do. So all that to say that um, I grieve. I grieved Lollipop, and I still am melancholy sometimes thinking about him. But he has a very special place in my heart, and I'll always love that little booger. He never knew whether he wanted to kill me or love me. And it does free up my space in my heart for Poppy, who is my number one rooster, my main rooster, one of the oldest chickens out there, and he really, really needs my attention more than I give him. So here we are back to the drawing. I'm still just using the guangnas, and I'm just going to go ahead and finish the roof there. And look, my little house is done. While I was chatting away, I added some yellow in the windows. Well, I don't have the front porch done yet, but the house part's done, and that's fun. And my little candy ribbon tree looks great. I realized there were more on this double page spread of those trees, and I'm not exactly sure what colors I used to color them. So that's going to be fun matching the color again. All right, what am I doing here? Oh, this is something I love to do. Just take a pen and color in the background. It is so meditative and mindless. Like, I don't even have to think twice about it. I can just sit here and color this background. I think that's why I've fallen in love with pattern pages lately, is because this kind of coloring just really, I just turn the brain off and I go. And I don't keep you on here to watch this the whole way. I do stop here in a minute when it's all done and you get to see this beautiful guangna blue. I really love this blue. And there it's finished. Now that's just the first layer. You can see the streaks. Some people are fine with that. I really don't like streaks. I'm kind of picky about that. So I'll go back over it in the second layer after it's dry. But now I'm using my beloved super golden markers. A few of you have gifted me these. You know that I use them on every page. They do run out. I don't know if they run out faster than any other glitter pen, though. It's just that I use these more than any others. So I'm like on my third box of the skinny nibs and my second box of the big nibs, the thick nibs, the ones I'm using today. I just absolutely love. I mean, look at the colors. Yes, I have a page back there. I like to color. That's one trick, is you put a page behind you so you can color right off the page. Sometimes I think I can get away without putting a page there, and every time I end up coloring on the page underneath or making a mess. I also, because this page is at the back of the book, I have another book underneath it, which helps keep the page, give the page a solid surface underneath it. Otherwise, this book doesn't lay flat, so it would be kind of curved and not supported underneath it because it's at the back of the book. It would have just air underneath it. I've tried coloring like that. It doesn't work so well. It works a lot better, especially with pencils and pens where you really need some resistance to put a book underneath it. However, I also have some magazine pages on top of that, so I don't accidentally color on my precious book that's underneath, because that is a precious book, as you can see. It's my 12 Fairy Tales book, and it is another page that I'm working on is in there. So probably not the best choice when I'm using messy pens to put that underneath there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish all that. I love that super golden marker, that red one. There is no true red super golden marker. This is just a reddish orange, kind of a copper, but it is one of my favorite colors in that set. There is a true orange as well, but this reddish orange I like the best. And I just thought it would look good. The gold would look the best. I love the gold, but I always run out of the gold first, so I try to use the other colors too. And this copper is another favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on and let you watch for a bit. I hope you're coloring something fun and you have something yummy to drink or eat. And I'm going to finish this here. All right, be back. So I'm going to go ahead later and go over everything with a second coat, especially the roof with the browns there and this blue in the sky. All that needs a second coat, but I did finish that really shiny, pretty stuff. Yay! So now I'm going to move on to another book. This is how I work. I used to do one page beginning to end until it was done, but I find I would get bored and I'd start rushing the end, and then the end never turned out as well as the first half had turned out. So here I am using those Languo acrylic pens I don't like, but I do want it to look kind of painterly. So I'm putting my second coat of this on the background, and I'm going to go ahead and do that off screen because you don't need to watch that. So I did the second coat, and this is out of one of those Japanese series books that's with, your mouse and everything. This one is the one where they're fairy tales and they go on adventures, and I just loved this page. And this was a buddy that I was doing with a couple of folks for May 2025, but I didn't finish it. And so here I am working on it, and this is and trying to get it finished. You can see it looks very blendy, like it was pencils, but that's actually acrylic paint pens. I just sort of smeared them. I would color and then smear, color then smear with my fingers. Get my fingers all dirty, which I hate, but I do it anyway. And I had no plan for this page. I knew I wanted to make it somewhat cohesive because there's a lot of elements, so I do try to kind of stick to the same colors. Kind of these peaches and orange pinks and greens, and then of course the blue water. So here I am going over with, this is a white guangna because the white Languo is ridiculous. At least this one has some opacity to it. I do have to go over it a few times, but I'm just making some more bubbles. I've decided to leave those cloudy fluffy things. I do go over the lines with a white, I think this pen actually, the acrylic pen. Later I read a comment that someone said it might be the surface of the water or it might be ice or something. I wasn't sure, so I just left them like that. I thought it added some interest. But I am just making these bubbles brighter so you can see them, and they do take several layers. I get impatient. I'm not waiting for them to dry enough. I really need to let them dry. But I'm going to go ahead and put this on double time as we see what work I do in this book. Alrighty. I just love this page. Of course, I love anything underwater. I love water scenes. I'll always do water scenes. I didn't do near as many horror mermaids as I was going to do this mermaid, but I did a lot of cute ones as well as some scary ones. But I do mermaids all year long, so you'll see some more of those scary ones. But I'm just having fun here with acrylic markers again. I don't think I used anything else in this page. I do use the Languo gel markers later, outlining a lot of the lines. In fact, I think all of them. This page, this double spread took much longer, I think, than it needed to have. Here I bust out the Languo gel pens, and sorry about my hands. I've got stuff all over them. I've been coloring a lot, and I burned myself. I have some burns. They're healing, and just ignore my hands. That was a bit of kneaded eraser that I put on the end. That was before I learned that you can also just cap the end with the cap, and it works the same way. But this makes those things pretty juicy. Look at it coming out now. It comes out at of course, this is on double speed. I'm not going that fast. You have to go, kind of slow with these gel pens, and in small, short movements like that. They don't work like drawing a straight line forever and ever. They will skip on you. But this sort of lets the paint out, and then you push it around, and it just works great, like magic. I have saved those bubbles that are on. Now, see what I just did there? I could see that paint was building up on the end, and I just pulled it off. The bubbles that I didn't color in white there was because I wasn't sure what all I was going to do on the inside of that coral. I didn't know if I was going to add more color, so I waited till the end to do those white. But I don't think I ended up doing anything more to them. I think I kept everything pretty much just these Guangna acrylic markers, a little bit of the Langwo, and then the gel pens. And that's basically it. All right, I'll just continue on and maybe I'll play some music here for you while you color. All right, look, I did some of the fishies too. So that's all done with those acrylic markers. And I think I'm done with this one for the evening. It is coming along. Look at the little red fish lips and kissy hearts. I like the pink start on that jellyfish. It's just, it seems like it's like a bowl of pasta. I work on it, and there's still more. The thing just grows before my eyes. I this page, this double spread took a really long time. I eventually finished it recently, but oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was indicating there. Oh, how I went over the lines on the left side, but none on the right side yet. So, yeah, it's coming along. What do you think? You'll see it in my finished pages someday. My goal is to get it done this month. Alrighty then. Well, I hope your coloring has been wonderful this evening. Thanks for joining me. You keep me company while I'm doing this, sitting here in my cabin with Jack. You've probably heard him several times in the night. And he just goes to sleep, and I sit here quietly and watch your YouTube videos. And I hope you enjoy mine. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. I got lots coming out. I got a little behind on the uploading, but I have lots made, so you're going to see a bunch of them coming out pretty quick. All right. I love you. Bye-bye.